These words were delivered in 2001 via a letter to every employee of Dolese Brothers, just before the passing of our patriarch, Roger Dolese. In them, we find the principles that guided the company through our first 100 years. A century spent turning the rock and stone of Oklahoma into the roads, bridges, and buildings that shaped the entire state, and reaching beyond to stake a claim in the bayou and help shape the landmarks, highways, and byways of Louisiana. But even more importantly, in them we find a challenge. Every one of us, every man and woman who proudly wears the Dolese name, has promised each other that we will uphold these principles and apply them to the future as we look towards our next 100 years. And it's a promise that we are delivering on every day.
It's most important that our employees understand they're not out there just crushing rock or just running loaders. The highways, the buildings, everything that we do, our housing, everything's dependent on the materials we furnish as Dolese Brothers Company.
You know, you heard this saying that, you know, you get what you pay for.
Dolese's got a full-blown quality control lab, and they really take care of their concrete.
Anybody can produce concrete, that's just a known fact, but the quality that's behind it, the people that are behind the product.
You know, you really want a quality-minded person. We pride ourselves on having, you know, clean plants and clean trucks, and it takes a special person to do that.
Whatever you need, we can supply.
Dolese delivers material in spec, on time, at the right price.
We'll get it to you, no matter what.
And if we need to, we'll work Saturday and we'll work Sunday. We'll work 24 hours a day.
In the 34 years I've been in ready mix, I've worked for 4 different companies, and none of them compare to Dolese.
That's how we continue to stay in business, is servicing good quality material. The guy pouring that sidewalk or that driveway deserves the same materials as the guy that ordered that material in depth. And that's our goal for quality and service.
You know, on the environmental side, Mr. Dolese asked us to operate for the betterment of the community, is how he put it. We need to be leaders in the industry when it comes to environmental regulations, environmental compliance.
You leave things as natural as you possibly could.
You know, Mr. Dolese was an environmentalist, and you know, there's been many stories of, you know, not cutting down trees, not cutting down limbs, you know, making sure that the land and the property that we're using is taken care of, and we've just continued on with that tradition.
When we acquired some ready-mix operations in Louisiana, one of the plants sits right next to a wetland area, and the previous owners had for years discharged their waste concrete, and we spent nearly $300,000 cleaning up this wetland. We planted hundreds of trees, and we put it back to as close to its original state as we could.
Dolese has their standard up here, and you know, this is just average. Dolese's right here, and they're above it. And you know, if you're above it, then you don't have to worry about anything.
We don't make many written contracts. We do a lot of verbal stuff that we commit ourselves to as a company. And once you commit yourself, you're dedicated to do that, to do it. Not to say it, but do it.
We have a code of honor. Don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, and don't tolerate others that do. We always strive to do the right thing, and we'll go the extra mile to do the right thing.
Honesty #1. Honesty #1. Absolutely.
That honest and fair dealing that the company has had for a long time, that reputation that we've built, to be not just a supplier of materials, but something that people can look at and say, there's a company that does what they say they will do and does the right thing.
If you're honest and you call it just like it is, you'll do all right here.
I've seen it time and time again. My father-in-law worked for Dolese. I work for Dolese. My grandson works for Dolese.
As a matter of fact, I have Dolese on my birth certificate, so I'm about as green-blooded as they come around here.
I've been here 19 years, and I still have people that call me kid.
Pretty much like everything about Dolese.
When I walked in the gate, I started at the bottom, but I ended up as superintendent at one of the biggest quarries that Dolese's got.
I think it's great. I mean, it says a lot about the company that they promote within.
But the people at Dolese are Dolese. And that's from the laborer all the way up to the management group. We're all in it together. It's our company. Fortunately, Mr. Dolese left this company to us.
Being employee-owned means that we have an actual share of the company, and we're not just an employee, that we mean more to this company than just that. I believe that very firmly.
Because I love it. That's what I said. You got to love your job. You got to love what you do.
This is a great company. The opportunities are endless with Dolese. I won't give this job up to anybody. They're going to have to run me out of here.
We've been in business for over 100 years, and our plan's to be here for over 100 more.
100 years, it really isn't very long. Because we won't be in existence in 100 years if we don't change with the times and the technology.
We want to keep the good parts. We want to challenge the parts that aren't working.
And the only way we'll do that is to work together.
There's always something new. It's always a new task every day, a new, journey, a new adventure that you have to take upon every day, every week, and I like that.
But we're looking at the future. We're investing in the future.
Another 100 years, that would be a drop in the bucket.
Dolese delivers a greatness as far as I'm concerned.
People need for you to deliver, and that's just what we do.
We deliver concrete. We deliver gravel, sand, limestone.
The road you drive on, your drywall, your filters, blocks that your house is built out of, from ground up.
Dolese delivers everything. We're a can-do company. I mean, we deliver, we don't only deliver the product, we deliver the service.
Dolese delivers the best concrete in the world. #1.
Let's make it simple. We blow up mountains. Then we take the mammoth chunks of those mountains, the big rocks, and we break them into smaller rocks. Smaller rocks, smaller and smaller. Then we glue it all back together to form everything from the foundation under your feet to the longest cable-stayed bridge in the Western Hemisphere, to a 55-story skyscraper and the roads going everywhere in between. Big rocks to small rocks to a livelihood for us all. But Dolese isn't rocks, it's people. People that are tougher than granite, as kind and upstanding as the trees we've saved, as flexible and gentle as the water flowing through our streams. These people are Dolese. We're all Dolese. And Dolese delivers.